for giving me this opportunity to place across the views of my party. We are not against any measure to conserve energy. We are completely with everyone in the nation in the conservation of energy. But where this particular bill is concerned, it was placed to us in a hurry, and we had submitted that it be sent to a select committee. We were procedurally debarred, but I would still submit that we need a re-examination. I'll explain as I move along. We need to re-examine the law. The intention is certainly good. The driving forces are also good. But the law as it stands today is full of defects. It empowers the bureaucracy at the wrong level. It empowers the bureaucracy at the wrong level. Mr. Minister and I have both been in service, and we know how bad the certain levels of the bureaucracy can be. But if you give over handlebars to them, they will obviously misuse. That is why we said don't rush it, take a little time, send it to the select committee, go through the implications of what you are saying, your good intentions, let it be re-examined, and we can proceed thereafter. But in any case, we can go on any one of the issues that if we feel. First of all, your emphasis is on non-fossil fuel. Of course we agree. Everyone agrees on non-fossil fuel. But where are the non-fossil fuels? Where are the non-fossil fuels? Where the green hydrogen is one of the greatest gimmicks that I've been hearing for the last few years. Where is the green hydrogen in abundant supply? Where is green ammonia in abundant supply? Biomass. We all took part in that biomass campaign of gobar gas. But anyway, ethanol. I know, sir, that, thank you, sir. I know that we have a need for going over to non-fossil fuels, but the need has to be accompanied by adequate capacities. Otherwise, we take the car in the wrong direction. On carbon credit, of course it is a commendable move. It's a commendable move. But carbon credit, we are babies in the market. The world has gone over the carbon credit market, and several studies have revealed the malpractices of it. The honorable members have heard of this carbon credit market. Do you know what it is? In very simple terms, an examination is held, somebody gets 110. He can sell that 10 off to somebody who got 20. So he can add 10 to his 20 and he can pass the exam. Siddhi baat. Do you understand? So carbon credit, I would submit to the Honorable Chairman, carbon credit is a well-intentioned move and is inevitable. It is desirable to a large extent. But where are the examinations of the studies of the misuse of carbon credit? I have explained to you in very broad intention that if the good student gets 110 and the bad student gets 20, he can take 110 from him, add to him and pass. There are safeguards that have to be put in. We can't accept it in its present form because most of it has been left to the bureaucracy to work out in the form of rules. Nothing has really been spelled out here in terms of actual legal provisions. They have all been left to rule-making powers. We have this provision of this energy conservation building code. Again, a commendable idea. But then, where is the social equity? Where is the social equity? When you talk of 100 kilowatts, I mean, you look at who is contributing to it. Where is the difference between an LIG, low-income group building, a cluster, and an HIG? We have to go in for differentiation. I would submit that if possible, if there's any possibility of getting cross-subsidy within the thing, the idea of cross-subsidy, I mean, within the housing code, please think of it. The Bureau again, you are increasing their powers. I am not so much bothered about the senior officials in the Bureau. I am more bothered about the instructions that go from there and the scope of misuse. You know, the building markets all over India are supposed to be, क्या कहते हैं? लोग कहते हैं 2 numbering. There is something attached to the building market. Sorry, I can't spell anything. Go. You are now introducing one more player into the building market. We're just introducing one more player. So these are the points on which we had sought for reconsideration, and I'll still submit that with your kindness, if you can send it for reconsideration, we can come to the same bill in the next session with the wisdom of the parties put in. I mean, when we work in the committees, we don't work as parties. We work as parliamentarians. We have talked about the state electricity regulatory commissions have been told, are being assigned certain duties. I would still submit to get into a little more detail to see whether the state electricity commissions need to be assisted to reach that capacity of exercising the powers under the Act. We are thankful that in one case there is some amount of attention on the state. But sir, we have to look at the picture in a little broader light. We are talking of energy conservation here. We are talking about environment here. We are talking of saving the environment. And right now, the same government has given order for slaughtering 130 square kilometers of the Great Nicobar Islands. The wildlife and biodiversity there, the flora and fauna are irreplaceable, but they are allowing concrete boulders, concrete constructions to take place. We cannot have so much dichotomy. On the one hand, you come and introduce a bill saying that we are dying because of the environment. On the other hand, you take active steps to destroy the ecologically fragile region of the Nicobar Islands, Andaman and Nicobar. I have a feeling, and I may be wrong, I may be right, that there is an excess of renewable energy in certain parts of India, and they need to be transferred through compulsive methods so that they are sold. I am told that renewable energy is facing problems of both supply and further extension because the grids are in a terrible condition. The Ladakh project of solar energy had to be abandoned because the grid position is very poor. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, with your kind permission, I reiterate that renewable energy as such needs to be looked into afresh. The area of renewable energy and its production and distribution need to be looked in afresh and not be rushed through. Mr. Minister, you have taken commendable steps in that direction, but I still submit it's not a question of individual effort. It's a question of the system functioning. You are aware more than me what are the difficulties of renewable energy. I have been given to understand that in certain areas where renewable energy production has reached such a state that DISCOMs don't pick it up. But under your compulsion, DISCOMs will have to pick up. Pick up and take it where? You have the compulsive power. The additional compounded problem is that DISCOMs don't pay the RE producers because they don't get their own payment. It's all a very complex thing, and you are handling one of the most difficult subjects in India. I appreciate it. But the fact is, we had been pleading, and we still continue to say that let us go through the provisions. There is no point in rushing a national task over a few minutes of debate. We have spoken about the buildings and LIG, HIG. I don't know whether I have time to get into the provisions, but just a couple of provisions, just a couple of them. I was getting through section 4, which is basically the leadership part, the governing council. We can't quarrel with the government about how many people you are going to put in, but at one place, instead of 25 or 26, you are taking it up to 31. Now, a committee of 31 hardly functions. A committee of 31 people means 31 people will come with 60 to 64 people, and all they will do is to waste hours and keep minutes. That's all. They will waste hours and keep minutes. Let's get in for more practical methods, a steering committee to move things around. You have the powers of the central government. You have not spelled out Section 13 in very great details. The sparse wordings makes me a little uncomfortable over Section 13. It should not be another place where federalism is tilted and the central government is given overriding powers over the state government. We need to examine them. I'm not telling you to throw the baby on the bathwater. We are saying that let's save both the situations and let us go in for a re-examination of the bill. You have put in clauses like Havildari clauses about banning of sale of deceptive instruments, about those who don't conform to standards. Again, very commendable intentions, but once you leave it to the inspectorate, God help all of us. So these are the reasons for which I submit, Your Honor, that we need to re-examine the bill. It is full of good intentions. There are certain very good sections, but there are sections that scare us, that scare me as a citizen of India, that scare me as somebody who has worked in the bureaucracy for 40 years, because we have seen how the things function, how the best of intentions are hijacked into oppressions, harassment, and corruption. Please don't bring a good intention to such a pass. Thank you, sir.